And I call the member for Solomon.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. It is with concern that I rise to speak tonight on the alarming number of mistruth and misrepresentations that the Gillard's Territory-endorsed Labor Party candidate is spreading around the electorate of Solomon in Darwin and Palmerston. The recent scare campaign by the Labor Party on GST revenue disappearing from the Territory is absolutely false and is making them look foolish to the people of Solomon. Territorians know that the Chief Minister, Adam Giles, and I will stand up for the Territory, and that the Chief Minister is in no discussions with any state premier to change the GST distribution model. Absolutely nothing can happen to the GST until all states and territories agree. And I'll just repeat that. Nothing at all can happen unless all states and territories agree. The truth is, our GST revenue is most under threat from the incompetent management of the Australian economy by the Gillard Labor government. Now let's turn to the Gonski. In terms of Gonski, Labor mistruths are even being spread by the Labor ministers themselves when they visit my great city. The Gonski model, or funding model, is now being spun as the National Plan for School Improvement. Why? Because David Gonski requested Labor remove his name from the proposed funding model as it was not reflective of his recommendations in his Gonski review. So the Labor candidate for Solomon was out spruiking the Gonski model to the students and parents of Stewart Park Primary School, when in fact Stewart Park Primary School will not be advantaged if the Northern Territory signs up to the current Labor plan. In fact, Stewart Park is one of the 22 out of the 54 schools in my electorate that will not be advantaged if the Northern Territory signs up to Labor's Gonski plan. This is not a Gonski, this is a Konski, and that is why the Northern Territory has not signed up to this model. Now, in terms of the NBN, this is another area where the Gillard Labor government spins mistruths to the people of Darwin and Palmerston. The coalition plan is to complete the NBN as quickly and as cost-effectively as possible, using a mix of technologies that will provide high speed at reasonable costs. Now, unfortunately, the Labor Party want to mislead my electorate and are out spruiking the fact that the NBN has finally been connected in Darwin CBD, which is not where it's needed. It's most needed in the suburbs of Darwin and Palmerston, but it's been linked up into the CBD, which already has the highest connection speeds. So the Gillard Labor government and its candidate are going around telling fibs about the coalition's or the real cost of the coalition's plan. The truth is, our plan will not cost the average homeowner $5,000 to connect to the NBN under the coalition plan. This is just more mistruths being put out there by the Labor government. Most recently, the coalition and the community has questioned the safety of the NBN, the work in our areas. The highest priority for NBN Co and the government must be the safety of the workers constructing the NBN, and the community's work is well underway. The Gillard Labor government should have prepared the community for this and should be upfront with the dangers that may be present to the NBN workers and the community. And we saw in Darwin last week where there was asbestos being dug out of the pits, but the community wasn't made aware. Now, let's just turn to the Palmerston Hospital. As I've said many times in this place, the Country Liberals have always maintained that a hospital in Palmerston must be built to deal with the growth in the community. But it doesn't stop the Labor Party from spruiking the mistruths that the Country Liberals have abandoned the idea of the Palmerston Hospital and are having people sign a false petition. Well, the coalition has never said that the $70 million allocated to the Territory government to invest in a long-term plan for health care would be taken away. The Gillard Labor government and their candidates' claims to be the contrary are absolutely fabricated. Labor's scaremongering tactics fool no one, and the people of Darwin and Palmerston are much smarter than the Labor Party give them credit for. regardless of how hard the Labor Party in the Territory try to distance themselves from the Gillard-Rudd or the Rudd-Gillard Labor government. They just can't. They're Australian Labor Party through and through.